Hello, everyone, and just to get it out of the way ahead of time, I will be presenting, but I do seem to have a cold or a sinus issue, so just going forward, just to address it early, that does seem to be going on for me. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Johansson. I am from Unity College. I am a hybrid learning student, so I am currently located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today, I will talk to you about wildlife nutrition methods and what they are used to monitor individuals and populations alike in both wild and captive settings. So there are several different methods used to uh, monitor and study captive wildlife. They are body score conditioning, or BCS, determination of nutrient intake, and evaluation of dietary husbandry, which is a fancy way of saying monitoring what they eat and kind of seeing what comes out, measurement of body fat, analysis of bodily fluids and tissues, clinical evaluation, and post-mortem examination. And I will go into those in more detail in a minute. Now, why is it important? It's important because through better understanding of nutrition, we can better understand the environment, the health, and the diets for all species moving forwards with better methods. This includes saving crucial endangered animals in the future and helping to repair their health and diet moving forward. So the first method I will talk about is called body conditional scoring, or BCS. It is a management tool used to measure the health of the animal by looking at specific parts of the body. So it's very qualitative, and it's very good for specific animals, but not good for the health of populations. Uh, there's a bunch of different types of conditional scoring, and it's very dependent on the animal. They can go off of different body parts such as shoulders, ribs, spines, hips, bellies, things like that. And there's all different sorts of species in which it covers, from domestic dogs, horses, cattle, uh, felines, domestic, and there are other ones that they also use for captive populations as well. Once you have a good familiarity with the animals to establish like a baseline of what the body conditions would be. So the second one I will talk about is determination of nutrients of intake, nutrient intakes, and evaluation of dietary husbandry, which is a fancy way of saying, once again, what they eat and what comes out. So often set up as a baseline, it is most qualitative about what is consumed, so what they eat, and what is digested, so what doesn't escape their body once consumed. Facilities to monitor this, though, are very expensive, and it's only practical for individuals. It is not very good for populations because it's difficult to track, especially in wild populations. So another method I will talk about is the measurement of body fat. Um, Seems simple, it's not quite so simple. You measure the fat content by using an ultrasound machine that'll actually measure the time it takes for the signal to get back to the ultrasound. That time is measuring the fat in between the skin and the adipose tissue, which is the deepest part inside. So that's just measuring the fat on top of it. So this is actually can be good for populations because you can get it's non-invasive and you can measure it on a bunch of different animals. It also gives you like a standard reading on how they're doing. It may be unreliable though, depending on the season. So if it's coming up on breeding season or going into the winter, it might be unreliable if you are not accounting for those conditions, because they will put on fat or lose fat according to what season or what they're entering. So this is another method. These are all extremely invasive. Um, Biochemical analysis of body fluids and tissues. So these are all the different tests that they can try, or things that they're testing, which are a lot of them are measured off of urine. or can be measured in the specific tissue, but they are all mainly for individuals and are not good for populations, so it's not very viable. And then the last method I will talk to you about is a clinical and postmortem examinations. It is the final test, as you can surmise, as it can only be done after death. Obviously, very invasive. It can show signs of nutritional deficiencies, but only in some cases. If it led to their demise, it might be more evident. And unfortunately, if you are doing this type of examination, it is too late for the animal you're examining, but it might be helpful for animals moving forward of the same species in case of prevention. So, in conclusion, animal nutrition and welfare is extremely important to focus on. It dictates a lot of the animal's life, growth, and health. It also affects the environment moving forward. And to better understand nutrition is to better understand the species as a whole. So that is helpful for the captive counterparts and the wild counterparts. And this is extremely valuable information that needs to be emphasized moving forward. Thank you and have a great day. And here are my resources.